Welcome wherever you are. I want to bring you the analysis of CRE, Christian Religious Education, from the year 2006 to the year 2024. As you prepare for your exam this year, you can be able to see where the questions and the kind of questions you expect. So we know that CRE has got 6 questions. In each question, we have A, B, C. So we start with paper 1, question 1, A, B, and C. So the reason why we are doing this, I want you to see the questions that are being set so that you can concentrate on those topics. For example, let's start with 2006. Give reasons why Christians read the Bible. Here in introduction of CRE Form 1. Let's look at part B of that, 2006, with reference of the Genesis stories of creation in chapter 1 and 2. I think the question missed it there. Then B, C, outline the attributes of God. What are the consequences of breaking taboos in traditional African community? 207, outline the differences in the two accounts of creation. Form 1. Give reasons why the Bible is referred to as a library. Form 1. Introduction to CRE. From the Genesis stories of creation, outline 7 teachings about human beings. Identify 8 historical books in the Old Testament. 2011. Explain the benefit of learning Christian religious education in secondary. The benefit means the importance of learning CRE. 2012. Identify 6 literary forms used in writing the Bible. So look at those questions. Part B of those questions, those years, you can see yourself, because even if I start reading all of this, it will take a lot of time. But you can see it is Form 1 work. From the story of the fall of human beings, Genesis chapter 3, state the effect of sin, Form 1. Outline 5 effects of translation, Form 1. With reference of the story of the fall of human beings in Genesis 3, state 4 effects of sin on Adam and Eve, Form 1. Give 7 reasons why the Bible is referred to as a library, Form 1. Outline the major divisions of both the Old and the New Testament. Out of the major divisions of both the Old and the New Testament, that is Form 1. Part C, sometimes I see it is an application. Mostly it is an application, lessons. So identify 4 causes of evil in Kenya today. So this one you might not find it in notes, but you need now to apply the knowledge you have been learning. State 4 ways through which the church is spreading the word of God in Kenya today. Application. So you need to apply what you have learned, the lessons. Mostly this one comes from the lessons we learn. State 5 differences of occasion when a Christian use the Bible. That's one you might not be taught in the church, in the class, but you need to now look for the answers and know how to answer this kind of question. State 5 different occasions when the Christian used the Bible. Identify 7 ways in which the Bible is misused in Kenya today. Outline 6 ways in which Christians in Kenya use the Bible. You can see. So that is question. We are still in question 1 because question 1 has been analyzed up to 2024. So what I will do, I will take you to the most recent to save time. 5, that is 2024. I will count 5 years back from 2024. Give reasons. Let me start with 2024. Give 7 reasons why the Bible is referred to as a word of God. Unasoma wapi? Hiyo ni Form 1. Question B. Give 7 similarities between the traditional African view of evil and the biblical concept of sin. Form 1. There are many cases of Christians getting discouraged along the way in practicing their faith in God. In this regard, identify Identify 6 ways through which Christians win back those who have turned away from God. 2023. Identify 6 literary forms used in writing the Bible. Give 7 reasons why the Bible is referred as a library. Part C. The Bible is a holy book for Christians. It guides them in all aspects of their lives. In a few of these, state the difference of different occasions when Christians in Kenya use the Bible. You see? This one is a repetition of the 2 questions we did up there. 2022. State 7 differences found in the 2 accounts of creation in Genesis 1 and 2. That is creation. All of these things is Form 1. So question 1, in other words, what I'm telling you is that Form 1, topic 1, 2, question 1, that is where it is coming from. It is the introduction, CRE, translation of the Bible as the Word of God, the Bible as the library. All those things are the ones that are said in question 1, paper 1. So you have seen the questions. Let me move to question 2 because of time. Paper 1, question 2. So you know the topics of CRE. State the promises of God made to Abraham. Exodus, Moses. Question B, mostly is about the Exodus. The movement of Israelites from Egypt to Promised Land. What problems did Moses face when he was leading the Israelites during the Exodus? Give reasons why circumcision was important to the Jews. 206, state the characteristics of a covenant between God and Abraham. So you can see the question 2a, it is talking about Abraham. Question 2b, mostly is about Moses and the Exodus. Mount Sinai covenant. The characteristics of the covenant. 7 ways in which God demonstrated his love for the Israelites during the Exodus. So, question 2b is about the Exodus, Moses and the Exodus, the covenant, and the Moses leading Israelites from to the promised land, Question 2a, let's look at the most recent now, the years. Describe how the Israelites broke the covenant they had made with God at Mount Sinai. Now this one they have interchanged. But the same they asked in 2024, state 6 conditions that God gave the Israelites during the renewal of the Sinai covenant. Give 7 reasons Christians learn from the incident in which the Israelites broke the covenant at Mount Sinai. Hapa waligeuza the setting kabisa. 2023, outline what the Israelites learned about the nature of God during the Exodus. Hapa wamechange kabisa. Wameanza hii miaka wameanza kuleta, ndio maana nimetaka tuangalie the last 5. Number 2a imerudi imekuwa the Exodus. You can see. Describe the covenant ceremony between God and Abraham. Bado inakuja hapo. 2020, state the activities carried out the Israel on the night of the Passover. Question 2a, b, 2b. Give reasons why Christians are recommended not to steal. Identify 7 ways in which Israelites worshipped God while in the wilderness. Explain 4 characteristics of the covenant demonstrated in the Question 3a. Let me look at the recent. Question 3a is always about the kings of Israel. King David, Prophet Elijah, Naboth, King Ahab and Naboth. Is about a king. Look at the questions. Describe the Mount Carmel contest between Elijah and the prophet of Baal. 2.3a. Gives six reasons why Israel is demanded for the king. 207, 222. State the importance of the temple of Jerusalem to the Israelites. Outline 8 achievements of Solomon and as the king of Israel. So the kings and the prophets there. That is number 3a. Number 3b. State the achievement of Solomon as king of Israel. 3b is talking of the king Elijah. As you can see, all of them. Outline the variants of Saul and the king of Israel. That is still Form 1 topic. The topic is Form 1. Identify 6 obstacles that the Christian face while trying to fight corruption in Kenya. Application. Identify 7 factors that have led to increase in Christian denominations in Kenya. Application. Give 7 lessons Christians learn from the leadership of the King Solomon. State 6 lessons Christians learn from the ministry of the prophet Elijah. So you have seen number 3ab is about Elijah, the kings of Israel. That is Form 1 work. Explain the role, number 4a. Explain the role of prophets in the Old Testament. Describe the character of false prophets in the Old Testament. Identify the importance of prophets in the Old Testament, traditional African society. State 7 similarities between traditional African prophets and true prophets of God in the Old Testament. Identify the characteristics of true prophets on Old Testament. Describe the religious background of the core of Amos. Outline teaching of Prophet Amos on hypocritical religious. So Amos is Form 3 work. This is the Form 3 work, combining with African traditional society or communities. The prophet, false prophets. Question 5. Identify the evil condemned by Prophet Jeremiah during the temple. This is Form 3 work. Describe the renewal of the covenant after the rebuilding of the wall of Jerusalem under the leadership of Nehemiah. So the question 5 is about the prophet, that is Jeremiah, Nehemiah. When we look at these questions, look at all of them. Let me take them slowly as you go. Let's start from 2006. 2006, let's look at 5a, Nehemiah. Number 207, Nehemiah. 208, Jeremiah. 209, Nehemiah. 10, about they have not, it is Jeremiah. 11, Nehemiah. 12, Jeremiah. So look at this. Number 5a is about, that's from 3 work, Jeremiah and Nehemiah, the prophets of God. You see? So when you see this kind of question, I don't know why. So you can decide to master this one to ensure number 5 you get all the 20 marks. Number 5b, Nehemiah, Jeremiah, Nehemiah, Jeremiah, Nehemiah, the covenant Jeremiah. So number 5 generally is about the prophet Jeremiah, Nehemiah, the 2 prophets. Then number 6, it is the application from that topic, Nehemiah. Identify 6 factors that are making some Christians not to uphold the covenant way of life. Identify 7 lessons Christians learn from the ministry of Nehemiah. You see this? Number 5. The last question in paper 1, where does it come from? Where does it come from? This is the question from African traditional communities beliefs, that the concept of the African traditional community in general. So this question, number 6, is always talking about African traditional community, or the ways in which the traditional African societies lived and they believed, or the beliefs, how they believed, how they behaved, how they carried out their death when somebody is dead, the rites of initiation, all of those. This is the question you need to get, number 6. It is always, let's check. So 2024, before we go to paper 2. State 7 roles of ancestral and the traditional African community. Outline the traditional African concept of the community. State the importance of initiation in traditional African community. State the role of God according to African understanding. State the role of elders in traditional African community. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Identify 6 regulations that an expectant mother is required to observe in African traditions. There are some things that a pregnant woman was expected to observe in African traditional society. So ukiangalia zote ni African tradition community, all those. Hiyo ni question 6A. Let's look at question 6B. It is the same. Traditional African community, moral values in African traditional values, factors that may affect the traditional African people, dependence of God. Explain the rituals performed during the birth of a baby, traditional African. So you can see. In fact, kama kuna karatasi mtu unafaa kupata 100 or 90 out of 100, it is paper 1. Paper 2 kuna venye iko tricky because inahitaji some the sentiruku inasumbua watu wengi. But now look at this topic like we have looked at them. You know specifically where the question is coming. In fact, if there is a paper you can predict is CRE paper 1. You can predict that for sure, as you have seen that the question 6 is coming from African tradition. Why can't you master that, read that, and have the concept in your head? In number 5, why can't you read about Jeremiah and Nehemiah, that topic, and you are good for that? Number 4, why can't you read about Amos, the prophets? That is from 3 work. Number 3, the kingship in Israel, the King Ahab, King David, all of those, the various, the achievements. That is number 3A. So anyway, that is my opinion. If you have a different, then you are entitled to that. So let me take you through paper 2. Paper 2 needs you to read St. Luke very well. Paper 2 needs you to read St. Luke, and I may not even do much on this.